Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. We have, I believe, what will be our final single reveal for Phantom Nightmare. Very, very cool. We have this like giant mecha dragon here. It looks incredible. I usually don't like dragonic, type monsters, and it's just not the aesthetic I tend to lean towards. But this one looks so cool. It almost looks like it would be a like ancient gear dragon kind of thing, but it's a little more generic than that. Still a really cool card. We're going to talk about this card here, and then we're just waiting for those final, I believe, 12 cards to drop. All together, the filler cards, and hopefully there's some good little gems in there to round out the set. Well, let's get into this today. This is MECHA Canord. Okay. This is a level 10 light machine special summon effect monster. 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense, just classic like blue eyes stats on him. But pretty big, so we're not complaining. And he's a level 10 light machine, which is kind of interesting. He cannot be normal summoned or set. He must first be special summoned from your hand or graveyard if your opponent activated a monster effect in their hand or graveyard during this duel. You can only special summon MECHA Canord once per turn. Alright, he also has two more effects. Once per turn, if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can make this card gain 1,000 attack. Okay, not bad. I mean, it's soft once per turn, but like, if your opponent does anything on your turn, this guy jumps to 4k as you're trying to maybe push into a board. That's not too shabby there. And second effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard, except from the hand or deck, shuffle it into the deck. Okay, so this is supposed to be like kind of the nerf on this card, so that way you can't just infinitely bring this card back. I think this card being a hard once per turn would have been fine. I mean, we already have a card like Gizmecha in the game that like is a quick effect, so he comes back on yours and your opponent's turn. He also has the additional pop effect, so I don't know if I really believe that this card like needed to be nerfed with this effect, so that essentially once you bring him back from grave, the next time he's sent to graveyard, he's getting shuffled into the deck. But luckily, this requirement like sticks. As soon as your opponent activates any monster effect from hand or graveyard, this guy is live for the entire rest of the duel. You just have to be able to keep getting him sent to grave or hand, so that way he can just keep jumping out. All in all, though, I mean, like, he's just a level 10 big body extender. That's basically what we're looking at here. Is it the most insane thing in the world? No. Is it a decent card, though? Yeah, I think so. I mean, there could be some question marks as far as, like, going first and the fact that you're relying on your opponent activating a monster effect. But if they hand trap you from hand, even on your turn one, it makes this card live immediately. So that's already, like, kind of a nice card. But this is more of, like, in my opinion, like a grindy card, or maybe more of a going second card to help extend through stuff, summon a really big beater into a board and walk over something. Something like that is more what I envision here. As far as, decks that could splash us in out the gate, I think the first thing that comes to mind for sure is definitely the Earth Machine, right? This is just another machine. Now, it is a light machine, not an Earth Machine, so that takes away a little bit of synergy, but I still think it's pretty good, all things considered. I think the deck has pretty easy ways to, like, get this guy set up, and they like to get into, like, the train package, the rank 10 package, so this card kind of just facilitates that decently. Plus, if you make an Exceed with this guy, he's not being sent from field. Actually, I think this still might count. Because this just says if he's sent to grave except from hand or deck. So he still might get shuffled even if he's detached as material. That's a weird little ruling there. Okay, but still, being able to facilitate the rank 10s easier is really nice. And the fact that just sending him to grave makes him live. And the deck could have, multiple ways to keep getting him sent, which is nice. The other thing I was thinking about is, like, over the past, 5 years maybe, we've seen, like, the evolution of, like, and it's kind of died off at this point, but we saw, like, the evolution of, like, the Gren Maju / like rank 8 going second deck that could play a bunch of different engines, right? You play, like, the Danger engine with, like, the big foots and stuff. You play the Gizmecha, and you just pump out rank 8 monsters going second, essentially, combined with, like, just some generic good going second cards. It's an interesting deck, and it's seen, like, a little bit of success, rogue-like, but I think there's a world where we eventually get enough generic good level 10 monsters. You would think since they're level 10, they might just have a little bit more oomph than level 8s overall, and maybe there's a world where we can kind of just pump out like a rank 10 spam deck, not a rank 8 spam deck. All your monsters could be a little bit bigger than the rank 8s, push into boards a little bit nicer. You know, I have no idea, but I'm just throwing that idea out there. If like we just have enough good generic like level 10 cards that could kind of get us in there like that. So we'll see. Cool ideas, cool card. Honestly, I don't think it's a bad card by any means. It's just a little bit niche. The types of decks that may even be interested in playing it, but definitely gives me Orochi vibes. So let me know your thoughts down below on this card. Where do you land on it? Is it just not impactful enough for you? Just being an extender these days isn't good enough. If it's just like a single body extender, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Other than that, though, stay tuned. My guess would be either tonight or tomorrow morning. We're going to get the final 12 cards all together for Phantom Nightmare. Hopefully there's 2 or 3 gem cards in there that kind of come through and add a little bit more spice to the core set. And then stay tuned for a total set review once that comes out. So I'm out of here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.